Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mercurial Sarah, and I am an astrologer, and I will be reading your tarot cards for the week. So let's get started. Just get right on into it. So I'm going to be pulling for Aries. Aries, we are still having eclipses in Aries until March of 2025. So the Aries renaissance is not over, even though we are stepping into Pisces territory. But the line between Aries and Pisces is, in my opinion, very, very thin, because Aries can be just as delusional as Pisces, and Pisces can be just as straightforward and assertive as Aries. So this is the card that I get for Aries. Oh, the Emperor. Very, very fitting. Especially because Aries might feel like the pressure is being taken off their shoulder and they're getting a little bit more acquainted with the power that they have. So this week you might be taking control of something or being a little bit more adamant on the things that you want and just being more present in your environment as well and making sure that you're actually getting what you actually want out of the situation that you're in. Taking control, that sort of energy. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. This is literally a card that I frame and put on my altar. So this is just, again, it's such a wonderful card because it deals with taking control, taking action, and making sure that your manifestations are coming out accurately in the way that you want to come out. So yeah, wearing a crown, especially like a bejeweled crown. You can even see that like one of his like the jewels are you guys want to maybe wear some carnelian this week or something like that to really activate that Mars energy. And Mars right now is in the emotionally prone sign of a Cancer. So maybe even the emotional decisions that you're making right now are like good for you. So like tapping into that emotionality might be a little bit kind of exciting for you. So yeah, Taurus. Taurus. Aw, very cute. So this is the Four of Wands, and it's exactly as it pictures. Happiness, brilliancy, and also fertility, things that are happy. There's lots of growth going on here. So you might be celebrating or going out on a date. We're doing things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone. We are having an eclipse in your 11th house of friendships and alliances. So you might be figuring out a door or an opening towards a new alliance member or new friendships and new support systems. And you might be going out with more people. You might be going to festivities this week, or just more celebrations are being kind of invited upon you this week. Gemini. Oh, Gemini. So there's things going on that you might not really know. You might feel like you're blind or that things are happening behind your back or that you're not really sure what's going on. This week might be like a very gray week for you. We are having a full moon in a mutable sign, which is going to be squaring your sign. And squares typically mean more action or adjustment or having to be well acquainted with something that you're not really used to. So this is kind of like an uncomfortable time for you, especially at home or at work. So you might be letting go of family members possibly, or kind of releasing the hold that family members have on you. You might be switching up your idols this week as well. Maybe people that you've looked up to, you've decided not to look up to them anymore. This can also be about turning a blind eye on someone and having to use your intelligence and your discernment, but also that might be going against you. So this week might be very emotional for you and where your logic kind of deceives you. So this is going to be more of a harsher week for the Geminis. Cancer. Another card fell out too, so I'm going to also put this with the Cancers because it literally just like flung out. So intuition is going a little bit crazy right now. I would assume so because Cancer has this planet of Mars being in its home right now. So you guys are kind of housing a little bit of a rambunctious character or someone who might be a little bit mischievous, or you might be kind of finding space for anger, and this also might be clouding your judgment. So you might be getting too angry, too motivated. You want to do something, but you don't know what to do. And that's kind of like too much action or too much energy being imploded into your body. You might be very hungry or very like kind of thirsty in a way as well. Like there is this sort of like irrationality coming into your mind where you're not able to think straight or think accurately or think right. We're also having eclipses that are going to be in a supportive sextile and a supportive trine to your sign. So you are getting support from people around you possibly, or your intuition might be really spot on this week, but your emotional kind of like vibrancy is a little bit too strong, and that might cloud your judgment. And then we also have the Three of Wands as well. So this is kind of like looking out into a new situation or going towards a new endeavor. So you might be starting off a new project this week, and that also might be something that is an emotional kind of pull towards yourself. So starting something new, but also having a little bit of a judgment that's a little bit wobbly or wonky, but you're also a little bit optimistic. And both of these cards have nice colors going on. So again, I'm really big on colors. The God gave us these senses for a reason to use them. Everything is a symbol. Everything has a reason behind it. So yellow is the color of the sun. It's the color of vibrancy. It's the color of sunflowers, and that represents sort of growth in a way. So there is maybe some sort of growth that you're going in towards that you need to use some sort of emotional intuition with. And everything is very kind of dreamlike with Cancer. Cancer is really into the dream land. And there's lots of things that happens with Cancer that you might not really see out in, like, Cancers are very shy. There's a lot of things that happen on the inside that don't really happen on the outside, because Cancer is prone to spending a lot of their time inside of their minds or in that dream state or at home or in a more domestic setting. So you guys might be utilizing your emotions on the wrong thing. We also might be starting off a new emotional chapter as well, especially one that has to do with kind of a misguided judgment in a way. So be careful this week, because you might start something off that you might take on a responsibility that you're not like well emotionally equipped for. And that might be like a start of a new journey that's actually very happy, but it might start in a very wobbly way, or in a way that like you're not really sure about, or it's kind of like a little bit like your tires aren't on all the right way or something like that, but you are going on some sort of journey. So yeah. Leo. Ooh, Leo, lots of hard work for you this week. Leos are getting eclipses in their 8th house, and this is going to be probably about paying off karmic debt, or doing something where you are having to pay off a debt, or pay off some sort of money, or pay back respects to someone that helped you out, or something like that. You also might just have a week that's full of like health issues or health crises, or that you're really on top of your gym workout routine, your health routine. So this week might be one where you're just kind of like on it and you know what to do, but you're also dealing with lots of stress and lots of pressure at that same time. So making lots of money. And also Wands, remember, is about fire. So there's some sort of passion involved with this. So you might be very passionate about your new diet or exercise routine, and you might be going at this in a very laborious way, but also a very rewarding way as well, because it's moving. This is a card of movement, because this person is going from one place to the next. So no matter what you do this week, if it's going to be difficult or challenging, you are moving from one state of being to the next state of being. And this is probably going to require you to use your actual muscle mass, and either if that's requiring you to handle stress properly, or just to put your energy in a right way, or to look at yourself in a more productive way, or to just be a more productive person this week. Virgo. Oh, very nice. Finally, a good card for the Virgos. This is such a Virgoan card as well. I think that this is the second decan of Virgo as well. This card represents the second decan of Virgo, which is mostly about just being very elegant and being very wise and having lots of money. And like, this card smells like Baccarat Rouge to me. This card smells really nice to me for some reason. Like, smell it, like I wish I can just kind of like throw smells at you through this phone or through whatever thing that you're looking at right now. But this is a card of like excellency and vibrancy, and one that just knows, and suaveness and swagger and everything like that. Like, this person just knows how to do it and what to do it with. So you might be finding your flow this week, or you might be finding some sort of style this week. You might be wearing a dress this week as well. There might be some sort of feminine property that you're dealing with this week. So this is going to be a really magnificent week for the Virgos, because this is about stepping into your power. And also this is a very like Ketuvian card as well, because there's nature going on here. She's in nature. She's in like a grape field. So you might also be drinking wine this week, or you might be dabbling into getting into seasonal fruits. Apples and grapes and sweet potatoes are all ripening right now. So this will be an excellent time for you. Virgos, I know you really like your intestinal systems to be working properly. So this might be a week where you're really kind of like getting your groove or something like that, and especially displaying yourself in a very beautiful way, and maybe even getting some sort of message as well, because a bird is over here. So there's some sort of message coming through. And again, that Ketuvian sense. So whenever I say Ketuvian, just like imagine a lush flower garden. I had such a beautiful experience with one of my teachers one time, where I was walking with her, and she visited the temple of Ketu in India, and she was describing to me how beautiful it was and how there was lush gardens everywhere and how there was flora and fauna and there was dogs and cats and just all of this sort of random animals just like coming up. And that was kind of like what K2 represents. It's like this flourishment. There's this sort of basin of like soil and this really richness to the sign of K2, because it's everything that's already been done. It's everything that's already been seen. So there is this sort of knowledge of how to grow up and how to make something last very long, because K2 is over there. That's why K2 synastry feels very familiar or nostalgic. So when the South Node is transiting through K2, I would expect to see some sort of holistic regimes coming back into the public knowledge, or for public people to take their sort of health a little bit more seriously, and putting like healthy things within their homes, or like first aid kits or herbology medicines. Something that everyone should always have is nettle. Another one of my teachers, not the one that I was just talking about, but another teacher that I've had before, which I don't think that she would mind me saying her name, but I'm not going to say it anyways, but a really important teacher that I've had before like made me have nettle in my house because of how like Martian that like, or how capable Mars likes to be with me. So I always get cuts and stuff like that. I'm quite like a tonta, if you guys know what that means, but I'm a little silly, clumsy person. And nettle is like a good one to have. So maybe the Virgos need nettle. Wow, that was such a tangent. I'm so sorry. But yeah, very good week for the Virgos. I'm going to figure out how to do timestamps on these guys. Don't worry. Libra. Oh, Libra, no. Oh no, Libra. What's wrong? What's happening, Libra? This scares me, actually. So Libra, there's going to be probably something that doesn't go your way this week. I'm going to start crying right now. Libras, please be okay. This is not a week to stress yourself out. This is not a week to take extra things. This is a week to lay low and to be a little bit on your best behavior when it comes to your rituals. You might like self-sabotage yourself because so this upright, I know it means that someone is backstabbing you. This could be that you're self-sabotaging yourself because it's an internal thing. It's more of a retrograding action, or it's more of a receptiveness to it. So making sure that you're taking proper care of yourself and that you're not disrespecting yourself. Having self-respect is the one thing that Libra really needs to know in this life, especially when it comes to doing the right thing or choosing the right actions or having the right sort of ego, things like that. So yeah, Libras, just be careful, and you might feel a little bit of depression this week, or that there might be a choice that you need to make this week that's really going to be dependent on your own ego, kind of having a satisfactory feeling. So making sure that you're not self-sabotaging or going on any wild adventures that might kind of have some sort of excruciating pain on your end because of an action that you did. So if there is like an important decision, maybe don't make it this week. Again, we are having an eclipse in Pisces, which is or in Virgo as well, which is your 12th house. So again, some sort of self-sabotaging behavior or some sort of coming into some sort of energy that's not good. So be very clean this week. That would be one of my advices, is to wash your feet before you go to bed every single night this week. Build up a schedule of loving yourself. And if washing your feet isn't loving yourself, then wash your face, do your eyebrows, something like that. Like oil your cuticles or something. I don't know. Libras are very, very much into the details. You think that Virgos are? Let me tell you about a Libra. They know how to focus on the details because they've already done that. They've been there. They are over it actually, because they're so good at it. So yeah, Libras. Also don't focus on like the small details that don't really matter. You want to know about like the bigger details. So if something's out of place, your hair's out of place, who cares? Move on. You know, it's fine. Libras really like to focus on the beautification of things and the aesthetic of things. And even in human politics and stuff like that, they get very emotional over those things. So again, this might be a very stressful, kind of tired week for yourself, and you might like disrespect yourself in a way, or that you might turn a blind eye on yourself, and this might not be like the best thing for you. So just be very cautious of how you treat yourself this week. You know, this is a very self card. This is not about other people. It's more so about you, which is interesting because we're getting a full moon in your 12th and 6th houses, which again is how you support yourself, how you maintain your body, and also how you go to sleep at night and how you maintain your inner self-esteem and your subconscious. Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. Again, this card is reversed, so it's a more internal card. So maybe not showing up for yourself, or maybe someone not showing up for you. We are having a South Node eclipse in your 11th house of alliances and allegiances, so you might have to be getting rid of some friends this week, or you're weeding out people that you thought that were your supporters, but they're not. So you might also be switching up your followers, or who you follow, or your social media might be going a little bit stale right now, or that you're not really on top of things, or that there's more of an emphasis emphasis on your playful life, or that you might be dropping the ball or something like that. So you might be a little bit of a cheat this week, or that you might be cheating on your partner, or that you might be flirting with another person. This is kind of like a card of nobility, but then reverse, it's kind of like a card of innobility, or a card of like dishonor in a way. So you might be dishonoring your friends, or one of your friends might be dishonoring you, or there might not be receptive loyalty going on. So be cautious of this energy, because it could be about you, again, dropping the ball, or that someone isn't really coming like forward to you. Also, it's a Knight card. So again, this does relate to like a younger person. So be careful with like younger people and putting your trust too much in them. Or it could be about like you needing to go somewhere and like needing a ride, and then that person doesn't like show up for you. So if you're going to take an Uber, make sure that you schedule it in advance or something like that, because this can also just be simply about like your ride not showing up, or someone kind of letting the ball down, or like what I've just been saying. So yeah, this can be a card of like a mistake in a way as well. But again, it's with the wands, and this is more of like a passionate, quick energy card. So it might just be for this week. And again, there's more happier colors going on, so it's not like a huge mistake, but there's just like a little minor error that happens that might even spiral into like a bigger argument perhaps, or that could definitely be a possibility, especially because again, the wands is very reactive energy. Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius. This is actually kind of like a good one for the Sages, because we have a Pisces eclipse in your 4th house. So that's going to be about you focusing on your family, going back home, maybe even letting go of some sort of career opportunity as well. And also your bad habits might be getting let go as well. So this is the card of like attachment, and this is the card of like detachment. So you might be getting detached from some sort of goal or opportunity that you had, or something going on with like a tenacity to hold on to your reputational life, or being someone that you're not. So maybe imposter syndrome is getting let go of as well, or that you're coming into a more natural state of being and you're doing this, and it might be a little bit hard for you as well. There might be some sort of resistance or reluctancy to choose yourself and to choose your comfort, but it needs to be done. So you're going to be very comfortable this week, or it might feel a little bit uncomfortable. The 4th house is a very deeply psychological house. It's called the resting place, basically. And the resting place can literally mean your bed, your sheets, your blankets, the home decor that you choose, but it can also mean your tombstone, your grave, your crypt, the people that you lie with forever. So this part of your chart being activated could lead you into thinking about mortality and your legacy after death and things like that, especially because this is the card of the devil. So you might be contemplating, like, have you been a good person? Has morality been on your side? Have you been and advocating for the right things? Or have you been disregarding your family and disregarding your legacy and your last name and what that means to you? So you might be, again, letting go of some sort of career opportunity in order to focus on more pressing matters concerning home life, or doing something that is detaching yourself away from evilness or some sort. So you might be kind of like performing like an exorcism on yourself this week or something like that. So this is going to be kind of like an evil week for you. There might be a little demon following you around, a very mischievous demon that you have to kind of say goodbye, go away. And this might be like kind of a funny time for you as well. So there might be something following you, or that there might be a stalker perhaps, or something like that. This is not kind of like, this isn't bad energy, but it could spiral very quickly. So again, maybe even going back to like a previous attachment that you've had, something that you find very safe, that could possibly lead to some sort of psychological obstacle down the corner. So just be aware that like something's going to present itself towards you, and you're probably going to make the decision to not engage with it, but that's going to be a little bit difficult for you. Again, it could be like an actual sort of entity or some sort of person that wants you back, or there might even be, again, like a literal stalker or something like that too. So Sagittarius is going to be kind of a difficult week for you, especially because we are having a full moon that is square your sign. So this is naturally going to acquire some sort of adjustments, especially within the family or some sort of new living situation. You guys have been having huge living dynamics, especially with relationships, because we've had Jupiter square Saturn from your 7th house to your 4th house, which is bringing up a dynamic of your friends, your family, your committed partnerships, your relationships, your business contracts, and your living situation and your safety, and how you acquire safety, and also how your partner acquires safety, and if you get in the way with that or not. So yeah, big week for the Sages. Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn. This could be about you like not being a generous person, or like there is an option for you to be generous, but you're like, no. So you might be a little bit disingenuous this week as well. You might be a little bit fake, or you might have to fake it till you make it sort of energy. Capricorns are very stoic, reasonable people. They do what needs to be done. I know so many Capricorn risings. Almost every important person in my life is a Capricorn rising. They're very straight up. They're very, again, very methodical. They like to do things in a certain order. They're very controlling, but they'll never admit it. They have a plan, but they'll never admit it. So there is a sort of like secrecy that Capricorn has, especially because they have lots of deep emotions, but they won't really express it because they feel like it's a burden to other people. So this might be a week where you're sticking to your guns and you're being very Capricorn-like, especially because this is an earth card that has to do with Capricorn as well, I'm pretty sure, especially because of that Saturnian reference with the scales being over here. There is some sort of like justice that you're weighing out, and you might be a little bit greedy this week, or you might be kind of doing some sort of mischievousness as well. So you might be stealing money or stealing things. So this is kind of like a very elusive week for everyone, basically. And what they say during eclipses is that, the sun is getting eclipsed this week, or more so the moon. So you might be stealing from your family or stealing something from your family's lineage, or that you might be borrowing something this week, or something going on with like taking something of another person's, because usually that's what this kind of card represents when it's reversed. At least that's what I've interpreted as, and what other people have as well. This can also be a card about people not giving you things as well. So it can also be the reverse too. So other people can kind of be, and that like forces you to steal basically, or forces you to take action on things. But definitely this is a card of action and also dealing with other people. So you might have to be a little bit reasonable with other people this week, or you might have to make some sort of not like adjustment. I wouldn't say that. It's not really an adjustment, but you have to make like some sort of pass for another person. It's like, okay, fine, like we can be friends again, or it's like, okay, fine, I'll let you back into my life again. So there might be some sort of kind of loosening up of your own values in order to like accommodate another person. But again, this could be about you taking something from someone and right under the belt, which again, you do you, Capricorn. Aquarius. Oh, funny. So Page of Cups reversed. So Aquarius is getting eclipses in their second house of finances and income, and also their eighth house of traumatic affairs, fears, paranoia, other people's resources, so the inheritances and the gifts that you got from other people. So this can be kind of like an awkward week for you, or you can just feel very uncomfortable because, again, you might be dealing with your emotions, you might be dealing with vulnerabilities that you've never recognized before. This could be about things that you haven't really seen and other people that's being projected onto you, and you're finally starting to understand the psychology of someone that you've been really close to, or someone might dump their trauma onto you and you don't really know how to kind of say like, oh, okay, so you might like deal with another person's depression this week, or it just might be kind of like an awkward time for you, or you just might feel a little bit kind of awkward with this energy. So yeah, you might feel like a little bit of a clown, or you might feel like you're masquerading as another person, or you might feel like you have to, again, put on a face to feel good or something like that. So, but a very gray week. So nothing too happy, nothing too sad. It's all just very neutral. So you might be the one keeping the peace or keeping the harmony or trying to keep things going along. And you might do this in a very funny way. Pages are very, very funny. They're like jesters in a way. So you might be the one that's like trying to entertain someone, but you're not really doing a good job of it, or that you want to keep the party going, but no one else does. So you might be, again, a very neutral character this week, or just kind of like a side character, honestly, for like another person. But you can also be dealing with things deep down, which has to do with feeling like you're too emotional for other people, or feeling like if you do expose your emotions, other people wouldn't know how to deal with it, because again, your eighth house is being activated, and that's mostly about like trauma and fears, and again, what you're able to have safety from other people. Are you safe around other people? Do you feel safe around your partner? And if you don't, like, then what has to change? Do you feel safe around your friends? And if you don't, what would happen for you to make yourself feel safe around them? Or what would they have to do? You might have to have a conversation with someone that you feel really awkward about. So yeah, this is, again, awkward energy. And then finally, Pisces. Oh, working hard. So this is, oh my gosh, even the back of the cards have the wands. So again, this is a card of action and work and sticking to your guns. This is also the card of working out, of exercising, of dieting. This card always comes up when people ask these questions about like hard work and effort and doing something that you might not really see an action on right now. So again, working for something and not seeing anything kind of happen. This also might be a time where you're planting seeds on something and starting a new venture, and you're starting to see like what your old mistakes were and how you can make them better. So this is definitely definitely a really internalized week where you're working on something yourself or starting a project on yourself or realizing that you can only count on yourself, that sort of energy, because this person is alone. They're emotional. They're wearing green. Green is the color of Venus. You know, he's in this sort of like field energy. So you're actively working with politics or beauty, with love, with other people, with rhetoric, with connections. You're trying to find love. You're making efforts into endeavoring into what beauty and love means for you, but you might not really be getting some sort of actual response back or something like that too. So again, working on something alone and also working with your diet and your rituals. And also this is a full moon in your first house of self and identity. And usually that brings up lots of emotions and lots of trauma and lots of reflections from the past, lots of nostalgic memories and moments and smells and scents. So this is really going to be a week that is exposing yourself to who you truly are and what your emotions are. Also, it's going to be hard work. You might be lifting weights this week. You might be doing something that's a little bit more out of your comfort zone or something that is more exposing your body in some sort of way. So there is going to be, again, lots of hard work. You might be wearing a dress this week because he's wearing a little tunic, little thing going on here with boots or whatever. So this card might be very inspirational for you to do something that scares you, but to do it at least, or to start the process of it. So this is definitely going to be a starting of something or a planting of a seed or something. But yeah, the Seven of Wands is really, the seven is also like a Libra number, we can say. But seven also relates to the healthcare practice as well in some other occult philosophies I've heard. So seven can be the number of like health and balance as well. So this might be about balancing your diet or doing something that's of health or doing something that aids to your health and aids to the process of wellness and beauty. So, and well-being, that's going to be like the key word for you guys is well-being. But yeah, so that is all I have to say for your guys' weekly tarot reading. Thank you very much.